Still have a couple of vehicles out here at the gate. There was a time earlier they had 4 or 5 vehicles blocking the gate out here. The heavier police presence is back towards the water, where there are still a number of Metro Police vehicles. We've seen the crime scene unit. We've seen unmarked cars all coming out here today, this morning. Metro Police on scene throughout the past couple of hour, 45 minutes or so, have shifted their focus from where they were a little bit downriver out here. It appears that there wasn't access to the boat to get on the water down there where the body was actually found before Metro Police came out here. We are awaiting a briefing from Metro Police. We're told it will happen out here on this scene to get more information about exactly how this body was found. Metro Police, exactly how they were able to identify it as Riley Strain today. Of course, Amanda, marks 14 days since the 22-year-old University of Missouri student went missing after being kicked out of a Broadway bar. So much of that focus had centered in downtown Nashville, where Riley was last seen, went missing. And of course, over the past couple of days, they shifted all the way downriver to the Cheatham County Dam, Cheatham County line, searching the river there. That's where I was yesterday. So we're going to continue focusing on exactly what's happening out here throughout the day, as it does appear Metro Police are clearing the scene somewhat out here. And we're awaiting an official briefing from officers.
All right, if you can stand by for us, Brendan, because we have a few more questions for you, but we want to give folks some perspective if we can. Originally this morning, crews and a flurry of crews responded to 61st Avenue North in the Nations area of Nashville. This is video from that scene, and this is where they first responded after getting reports of a body in the water. This is where they say that they realized that a body was trapped underneath a barge, and then a few minutes later, everybody left this particular area and went about 3 miles away to where we just saw Brendan, onto Ed Temple Boulevard, which is right by TSU. And that's where they said, okay, you know what? This is where we're going to be able to get into the water. It was too steep at the other location. Let's try this other area. And we're able to see that they were able to make it right into the water there to perform that recovery effort. And it did not take long for them to confirm that the body that they found in the river does indeed belong to Riley Strain. It is important to note, they say there does not appear to be any obvious signs of trauma from foul play, but that an autopsy is going to happen so that they can better determine what happened here. We knew that this location where they were searching is not far, of course, from where the focus of the search for Riley Strain has been unfolding for 2 weeks now today. Brendan Tierney, let's talk a little bit more about exactly what you've been seeing from that scene. It really didn't take much time from the time authorities got to this second location for us to see that medical examiner truck leaving the scene and other officers following and leaving.
Yeah, Amanda, when we saw that medical examiner transport truck come by, it drove right past me. It had a Metro government vehicle in front of that, followed by a Metro police car. Of course, they were escorting that medical transport vehicle away from the scene here. And a short time later, there was another just flood of police cars coming out from the gate behind us, followed by a trailer. It had 2 boats on it that were down at the water. They made their way out of the scene here as well just a short time ago.
And we know that in about 2 minutes here, Metro Police are prepared to begin walking us through this investigation and their response to both of these different scenes. So we anticipate that Don Aaron here in a moment, or another member of the Metro Police Department, will be sharing updates on how the report came in, how the discovery was made, and what's coming next. Of course, we know the autopsy is going to be the very next thing, but the initial indication is no signs of foul play or no observations of trauma related to foul play.
Yeah, we got these notifications probably about 2 hours ago now, and we've had a crew out there on those scenes following this very closely. It's been 2 weeks since Riley Strain went missing in downtown Nashville, and really a timeline that we've seen, those progressive videos that have been released over the past few days of just showing a bit of a glimpse of what has led up to what we found out.
So 9:45, right about now, any minute now, we're expecting Metro Nashville Police to give us an update on what's happening now and what happens next. It doesn't sound like their investigation includes anything regarding foul play, but of course they're waiting on an autopsy to confirm all of that information. Downtown Nashville, and specifically the water, has been the focal point of their search and their investigation. And we know it's because that's where his phone last pinged from, 9:53, 2 weeks ago Friday, after he had been kicked out of a bar, after he had been shown on camera stumbling through parts of downtown Nashville and even having what seemed to be a very brief yet normal interaction with the Metro Police officer.
Yes, he said hello back, and they both went about their business. Again, a story that we've been following very closely, video there just showing Riley downtown that night that he went missing 2 weeks ago. Today, and throughout this series of videos we've been showcasing you throughout the last few weeks, you see that timeline of what led up. Ultimately, we're going to find out some more details here, hopefully in the next few minutes, from Metro Nashville Police as they're working at that investigation.
We saw a swift response so far this morning. So from the time that the report came in to crews showing up at that original location in the Nations at 61st Avenue North to begin responding to that report of a body in the water, to the point that they made their way to the second location to actually be able to get into the water to reach the barge where the body was found. I mean, all of that happened fairly quickly this morning. So I think it's safe to say a pretty swift response as authorities made their way down to the river. The initial obstacle, it sounds like, was that at that first location, it was just too steep of an embankment to be able to get into the water from the Nations. And that's why they had to circle back to the TSU area at Temple Boulevard to try to find a launch point for their boat so that they could get into the water and begin the recovery process.
Well, even last night they were doing some searching, some